Well, how many cars do you think I've got in my collection? Hello, it's Rob here and welcome to a kind of review of 2022, but it's really a look at all the RC cars I've got, starting with these three, which are, shall we say, the first two cars that I ever got, which were 20 years ago. Starting off with the AMG Pro Mark Mercedes, and then the Thunder Dragon, which now has a police Range Rover body on it, and then the Aero Avanti, which was one of my first purchases when I got back into the hobby. This is the next one, which is I think MO3 Fiat 500, and I got this because it was quite cheap at the time from the shop I bought it from, and B, I actually own a Fiat 500. So that's that one. We've then got another AMG Pro Mark Mercedes, which is on the TT01E chassis. It's a re-re, so I got this because I'd already got the original one. And then we've got the CC01 Land Rover. The next three are the CC01 Unimog with extra lights on the body, as you can see there. Coming down to the Asterion on the XV01 chassis. Long is it? Not long, tall. I can't remember. I think I'm going senile, but hey. And then we've got the superb Lancia Delta Integrale on the TT02 chassis. And the next three are the VW Beetle Rally, which is on the MF01X chassis. I've got my Mark 1 Escort Golf Rally, which is on the TT02 Type S chassis. And then the marvellous Konghead on the G601 chassis. And up next are the start of my two-wheel drive off-road buggies. So we've got the Wild One on, I can't remember what the chassis is, so I'll stick it on the screen there. And next up we've got the Racing Fighter DT03. And following on from that, we've got the Aquashot, which again is on the DT03, but they may have put a T on the end of that, I can't remember. The next three are actually four, because I've got the Holiday Buggy and the Super Fighter, which are both DT02 chassis, and then we've got the Rising Fighter and the Grasshopper 2, which are both Grasshopper 2 chassis. Hopefully, at the minute, I'm not too sure, the last of my rear-wheel drive off-road buggies is the Frog. Now, here we have four fantastic looking four-wheel drive off-road buggies, starting with the non-box art Dark Impact that I painted orange basically because I discovered I'd got a spare tin of that. We then come up to the Plasma Edge 2 Gunmetal edition, which is in one respect good and in the other not so good because it come pre-painted, so I've had to stick the window masks on, or stickers, because it didn't come with any. Then we come to the being Nuts' niece Super Avante, which I did box art mainly because of this absolutely gorgeous, lovely metal bits Avante 2011 that I also have. So coming back to this Super Avante, big thanks to the RCL for supplying this for my channel. We now come to my two-wheel drive, no, not two-wheel drive, the one of them's four-wheel drive. We now come to my off-road Beetles. First off is the Monster Beetle Black Edition. Then we've got the Monster Beetle Trail, which I'll come to in a bit. And finally we've got Herbie, otherwise known as the Sand Scorcher. So next up we've got three beauties. First off we've got the Renault Alpine on the MO6 chassis. Next we've got the Renault 5 Turbo on the MO5 chassis. And lastly we've got the Subaru WRX STI Nürburgring Challenge on the TT02 chassis. Well folks, we now come to the pride of my collection, which is the Tamiya Toyota Bruiser. And as you can see, I haven't gone box art. This paint job is a 3-stage process from memory. It is actually proper car paint, and you start off with the black layer, then the rainbow metallic flake layer, followed by a rather hard, what do they call it now? Lacquer layer. Oh, I'm going to have to sort something out about me forgetting what words are when I'm on camera. I don't know, it's getting worse. So yeah, and the lacquer layer, there was some bit of mechanicalness at the bottom of the can, and you had to, I think I ended up having to hit it with a hammer, and I broke some sort of seal and mixed the contents together, and then you had about 30 minutes to spray the lacquer on, after which time it would, or it did, basically go hard in the tin. But yeah, it was long enough to spray a couple of coats on, and as you can see from here, a little bit of damage there that I've not noticed before. The actual plastic body was white. And last but by no means least, for my Tamiya cars, we have the Lunchbox Black Edition, and I'll put a bit of an oversized driver in him. We've then got the Lunchbox Mini, which is the SW01 chassis, is it? And the Lunchbox is the CW01 chassis. And finally we have the Luncherari, which, if you've seen some of my other videos, I've been doing speed runs with this for Poor Boys CW01 Speed Challenge, and this is the latest incarnation with a front wing. We now come on to non-Tamiya cars. I won't say kits, because some of them aren't kits. Quite a lot of them actually aren't kits. So we're starting off with toy grade ones. with the WL Toys 2019 132 scale. What would you call that? Short course truck. Next to it is the Micro Warrior, not way woo wee way wow. That's me not being able to determine between Y's and R's on some fonts. And then we've got this Revell Control Racing Team 1, which was actually a little kit. I wouldn't say your child would be able to build it on their own, but it would be something good if you can still get them now. I've had this a couple of years, I think, to build with your child. And the next one, which no one will have ever seen on my channel because it's rubbish. It was really cheap, I've got to admit, but neither the throttle nor the steering are proportional, so I haven't bothered. I was considering at some point seeing if I could take it apart and get some proportional electronics put in, but haven't got round to it due to money. Okay, so there we have the first, which are toy grade ones, and we can move on to a couple of more serious kits. Okay, so next up we have the FTX Outback Mini 124 scale crawler. This comes RTR. You just need batteries for the remote, and I think I need to do some tidying up there before we carry on. And I think this one comes with lithium-ion batteries, which is why I got this one. And that's that one. And next up we have the FTX Tracer, which is 1/16 scale off-road buggy, 4-wheel drive from memory. Yep. And again, this is RTR, and I believe this came with lithium-ion batteries as well, rather than lipos, because I think everybody by now knows that I don't like lipos, but that's my personal choice. So we can, I think, move on to my last three, which are again non-Tamiya cars. So let's have a look at them. And so folks, we come to the last three cars in my collection, which is the Absima AB 3.4 4-wheel drive off-road buggy, which I got as a kit. And yeah, the instructions are nowhere near as good as Tamiya's, but I think because I'd built quite a lot of other Tamiya kits, I didn't do too badly, and this was an absolute beast until I took the motor and ESC out of it to do the poor boys whatever CW01 speed challenge. We then come to this, which I bought as a first brushless system because I wanted to try one, because obviously never having a brushless system before, I didn't know what the hell that I could use on what. So I bought this, and oh dear me, it was an absolute nightmare. It was so fast, but you just let off the accelerator to slow down to turn in, and it would just lose control. So I had to do some swapping with that, and at the minute it's running at 27 megahertz to get some control back. So that's that. Did I tell you it's the Charisma M40 DT desert truck? And last but by no means least, we have the FTX Hooligan, which I think is a bit of a rip-off of Ken Block's Hoonigan, and I think I've given it rather a good bashing. If you can see there, it's all broken stuff, but hey, this came as a RTR, but it's got a 550 brushed motor in it, so the batteries don't last massively long, but it is good fun, and it's supposed to be 1/10 scale, but it seems a lot bigger to me, but hey, anyway. So I think that is about it, and adding up the totals, we have I don't know, because I haven't been keeping count, so I'll put it up on the screen as I've been doing, and there we go. That is my collection up to Christmas 2022. I hope you enjoyed watching, and look forward to seeing you on the next one, or on another one where I might be going into a bit more detail of these for you, to show you what mods I've done and things. So with that, it's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from me. See ya!